Okay, well, I messed up that intro. I pressed the button by accident, so we're going with this. Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... So, if you can't tell, I'm still a little bit tired from yesterday. Turns out that doing 2 streams in a row on the Butter Bunch takes a lot out of a person, especially at that time. What can I say? Which you know what is actually probably a good sign in all fairness, because I used to stream until that time of night sometimes anyway, and the fact that I'm not used to it anymore does say that I've improved as far as my sleep schedule has gone, despite the fact that I technically start an hour later than I used to, because of the change in time zones and, whatever. So, we're back with Jazz Pop Season 4, Episode 5, Lots of Love. And apparently Eli was wondering when I was going to review this one yesterday. Well, you're pleased to know that Josh recommended this one to me on Wednesday, but because I already have plans with Aiden to review Witch Academy, it was not meant to be. So, there you go. And also, hopefully people have refresh the page if that's an issue that they've encountered. Here's to hoping. But yeah, there's no 2-month gap between this review and the episode 4 one. Oh, well, you know what? I actually don't remember when I reviewed the last one, so that's completely fair, to be perfectly honest. I can understand why someone would be wondering in this particular case. What do I use for streaming? I use a website called StreamYard. One word. And it allows me to stream from multiple platforms, or 2 multiple platforms, I mean. So this is going on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live, basically. So that's the advantage that I get from there. So, in case you're interested. Actually, I think there's a referral link in the description of this video. I think they give an option to put those in. So, if you're interested, click on that, because if you use that link, I get credit for it. There you are. All right. On with the actual video, I think. So yeah, haven't looked back at this one for some time, but Lots of Love. It does, it does give me some hope, because I'm hoping that this will be a little bit less on the tragic side than the other Eli-centered romance plot that we've seen recently, which is literally based on the most famous love tragedy of all time. So at least in the Western world. So there you go. By the way, there is a free option. The version that I have right now, like the plan that I'm subscribed to, is one of the paid plans. That is true, but they do have a free option that will just give you like a watermark on the side of the screen. You might be able to, like, I don't know. So I think you can't put images on the screen, so you can't. Yeah, you can't do what was that? Let me give you that. Yeah, so you can't do something like this, basically. But it has most of what you would need to get going, basically. So, oh, and yes, you invite people over. So you send people a link in StreamYard, it gives you instructions. But in StreamYard, you give people that link, they click on it, and then they can join a room that you are hosting. So yeah, if I guessed right now, I would demonstrate that, but no one's here for today, so that would be our version of that. Yeah. So yes, you can get guests in the free version. It'd be very it would be nearly pointless for me if not the case, because this show very much relies on guests to some degree. I haven't used it in ages. Yeah, I think you were one of the first people that I actually used StreamYard with, because I joined one of your StreamYard links. The first one was actually Tamsin, so there you are. Both of you kind of led me to that conclusion. But oh well, enough about StreamYard for right now. They explain a lot themselves, so yeah. But again, free version, experiment to your heart's content. For now, let's go ahead and look at some jazz pops, shall we? Without further ado, on with the review. It's almost as I've actually seen this intro particularly. I forgot like the timing of it and everything, like the timing, like the drums as they change into them. I mean, if you're interested in becoming a guest, then absolutely. Just please don't swear in the VC if you can avoid it. I don't have you on Discord, so I'll just send this to you here. There we go. And for that, you don't need to get a plan or anything. You could just log in and do it. Yeah. All right. Oh, and yes, of course, also contribute to the review, because that's kind of obviously the reason why you'd be here. Yeah. Paris. Paris. Of romance. And Ladybugs and Cat. Oh, okay. You know what? This is actually the first. Well, not the first, but it's one of the only references to Miraculous that Eli has made in a Jazz Pops video that isn't connected to one of Johnny's videos. Because I mean, you do have to obviously acknowledge that the franchise exists and is now connected, but still. Okay, Dito seems to have been able to join, so go ahead. Hello, Dito. Hello, Dito. Hello, okay, they're muted. All right, we'll get back to them. And Phantom of the Operas. That is very true. Yeah. Very true, says Gaston Leroux. And go Lyocos. Okay, your microphone works, just all I got was static from that. And hopefully oh, right, okay, sorry. When you said plateau possession, I thought like possession as in like, you are now under my spell type of possession, not like actual objects that you possess. Okay, yeah. It took me a second to remember what the plot was. Okay, now, going forward. I hope we don't have to speak too much French. Okay, I will say this. A lot of people do speak English in Paris. It's recommended to try, basically, because I went there once with my French class, and then also like once with friends again, and it was and yeah, like knowing at least like basic French is ideal in that scenario. They do appreciate you at least trying if you're new there. All right. The only things I know are bonjour, au revoir, and je femme. Which, to be fair, oh, wait, hold on. We gotta say it now. Everyone, classic Earth Pop. If you don't know, je femme means I'm hungry. There you go. Yeah, Bon got it, obviously. Yeah. Oh, okay. They are going to explain it. Yeah, I guess. You got to make that apparent, obviously. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. My name is French. I cannot get it. Yes, it's a good name at that. One second. I'm just going to plug in my cable. All right, there we go. All right. I need somewhere to before I want to eat some food. Anyways, we should get a move on. We did come here to search and not stand around after all. Oh, okay. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
All right. Oh, I guess, yeah, you're trying to make sure you could hear. Also, there's no static now. Did you change locations or something?
No, I was using my microphone as a headset, bro.
Oh, I see. Okay. Fair enough then. Ebony's right. Let's look around.
Random grandma at the park.
Yeah, speaking of miraculous characters, she actually looks like the lady whose name I've forgotten, but was actually like Master Fu's like true love from Miraculous, and I'm blanking on her name right now. Someone help me out in chat, please. Got Kitty Pop from Jasper's became Water Pop. Then again, if I'm going to use the name Kitty Pop for my own character, yeah. I guess it wasn't taken. Kitty Pop the second. When you think about it, that's that would track. In the franchise, it's very rare for characters to have names that step on each other, essentially. But yeah, why not? Look, this says chocolates and coffee. You will find plenty of those places in Paris. That is very true. I also love the appropriate like ambiance music, basically, as well. Maybe her fusion name should be Drowned Kitten. Well, as she fuses with the original Kitty Pop, and that's what you want to go with. Okay. You watched a couple episodes. Oh wow. Okay. So Johnny must have really confused you with the lore for multiple years. My goodness. Okay. You're kind of like me when I first started watching Disco Pops, actually.
I watched like 2 episodes of Miraculous.
Yeah, I remember there was one when I hadn't seen like any episodes, except for maybe a couple of them like in passing on TV. And so when I first was introduced to Disco Pops, and people started me like sometime I mean like season 4 or something. I was very confused by all the references that were being made. And then, which was the same thing for when I started watching Superhero Never Die, which is another gacha series that became a very heavily Miraculous reliant show. I was like, yes, I know all of these references. I'm glad I've got experts here. And then fast forward to now, I've seen all the first 5 seasons, and the Devil specials and a bunch of other stuff. It's like I'm now more familiar with this. It grabbed my attention more than FNAF did. I'll say that much.
I gotta say, the people that make the pops really put in a lot of effort, because I can't imagine making like 4 seasons of a show.
That is true. Yeah. And even nowadays, where there's like a much longer gap between releases, it's only because like the quality has been upped instead. So there's always there's been a drive from Eli, but also from others for years to keep this going in some way or another. It's just the releases are dependent on their own skill level, which is also being honed and improved at the same time. That's my favorite thing to see in the gacha community, because ultimately we're given the tools here to actually help us hone our creativity in some way and actually transmit that. That's why I was so mesmerized by the concept to begin with.
I also gotta point out one thing in the background, and it's that fire escape doesn't go all the way down.
Oh yeah, you're right. I said, yeah, I saw where you're pointing at, towards the left. That is true.
What are you gonna do if there's a fire? Just like jump off?
I guess, yeah. Either you jump off, or you hope that it hasn't reached the first floor of a building, so hopefully it didn't start further down. I don't know. Sure, people don't. Wow. What's season 1 before season 6? Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not. Oh, sorry, you were talking to other people. Yeah. Because someone was saying, yeah, you could please catch up on season 6. I talked about this before, but I actually can't catch up on season 6 until a long time later because it's not on Disney Plus yet. Because there's no longer because Spain got rid of Disney Channel, so I can't watch it anymore the way that I used to. So I've seen one episode of season 6 because they posted it on YouTube themselves.
It always sucks when you want to watch a show, but like your region has like blocked it, or it's not like available in your region.
Which is why we thank you for today's sponsor, NordVPN. I'm kidding. The worst part for me is that you know it was the English like Disney channel that actually Disney YouTube channel that like posted the version. So I've seen it because I started watching Miraculous in Spanish because you know I'm in Spain right now. That's where we're talking about and everything. So for me, like the default version that I always try to go to is the Spanish version. I've seen bits and pieces in both English and French, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I've got the association now. I want to at least start from here as well. So it's another extra thing I've got to wait for.
I know like a single sentence in French.
Is it Je femme?
No, it's bonjour, comment ça va?
Okay. That works, yeah. That will help you start a conversation, just not end it. That's a great question.
10 conversations, I just run away.
Okay, Marianne Lenoir. Okay, thank you. And yeah, she was sitting on a bench as well. She was sitting on a bench like nearly every day and wait for food to return. So that might have been precisely it. Maybe one of the 2 episodes that Eli has watched is one of the ones that Marianne was in.
Do you think that Grandma will return in the future?
That Grandma will return in the future?
Like that old lady?
Oh, okay. Maybe? You mean this in this episode or in the show?
Like in the show.
Oh, well, it's possible. She doesn't really have a reason to return unless there's a reason that they have to bring back Master Fu, and therefore she would also be there as well. I don't know.
Oh no, I was talking about like in this series.
Oh, okay, yeah. In that case, probably not beyond this episode because Paris for them is a setting that they're visiting currently. Not that they're not here anyway, because the disco pops frequently, you know, go back and return to here. So sometimes they're involved too. But yeah, for the most part, it seems like she'd be like a one-off for this episode and probably not again.
Damn. Yeah. That sucks.
Well, you can't stand the language. Jeez. Friendship meter plummets. I'm kidding. I'm joking. People have said that before. How did I forget you? What has those things in her hair? What are those? I can't. Oh, you mean like the accessories? Yeah, they seem like a clip of some kind, but like a star that's been folded. Not really sure. In France, survival. I'm gonna say oui baguette. Yeah, don't say that to a French person. They're gonna think you're they're gonna think you're stereotyping them. Anyways, they're supposed to be also not the hand. That's Italian again. Yeah, that's probably it. There you go. All right. Oh, I've been getting hungry. Who knew exploring Paris would do that? Well, good luck, because all the chocolate and coffee places are very expensive in Paris, especially towards the center of the city, but we'll see.
And especially the tourists.
No, I'm saying that the chocolate planetary possession thingy could be in there. Oh, sorry. Thinking of my stomach again. Yeah, classic Earth Pop. We've done the joke already. Yeah. It's okay. Should we go inside and look? I mean, if they're gonna search every chocolate and coffee place in Paris, they're gonna be here for a long time.
I like at least like a couple months, if not years.
Yeah, I mean, if you want another miraculous crossover, this would be a good chance to introduce the Dupin Bakery as a setting. But yeah, either way.
Just like a marionette PNG slides onto the screen.
I mean, it would make sense. I'm not how much of the Pops franchise have you seen?
Only the ones in Gacha review.
Oh, well, I mean, in that case, you've probably seen quite a few. So yeah, like you're aware of the canonicity of Miraculous concerning the franchise. All right then. Event version to take a week, maybe. Not sure. Yeah, if they want to do a proper search, then it would take that long, probably.
And also, was it ever stated that it was in a coffee shop, or is it just a shop, or is it just related to chocolate? Because if not, it could be in a setting.
That is true. Yeah, it seems like the only clue they have is that it is a chocolate planetary possession, and Eli. Well, Ebony Pop is deciding is saying that maybe that means it's going to be around chocolate, which is a good lead if you don't assume that it could be somewhere aside from close to its own element, so to speak. But
like it could just be in a guy's basement.
But essentially, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like how like the Horcruxes work in Harry Potter. They need to be significant objects to either Voldemort himself or to the founders or some historical figures because of Voldemort's personality. He wanted them to be important because he was important naturally, but also narratively because otherwise you could essentially take a rock, bury it in a Chinese rice field, and then be done with it. Like again, it works both ways. But the Mystic Guild in this case, that's true. We've done enough searching for missing items recently. I think
I've only watched half a Harry Potter movie, and that being the first one, and I fell asleep halfway through.
I see. Then you probably have no idea what Horcruxes are, so I probably lost.
I watched that one where Voldemort was on this guy's back of his head.
Yeah, that is the first one. Yeah, so they don't talk about Horcrux in that one, so that's that won't be relevant to you, but it'll be relevant to some other example for other people. The food we're just looking at. Plus, that means I can stop any villains from entering. I'm just imagining Earth Pop is meant to be standing guard by the door, but she just gets like the closest table to the door, and then like immediately as a villain shows up inside the door, she just goes like, "I'll stop you," or something like that. She's only half ready.
I like to imagine she's just being like a bouncer on the outside.
Yeah, but if it weren't for the fact that she's tempted by food and that's like her biggest personality trait, I would have said, yeah, bouncer would make sense here. There is a disco pop called Bounce Pop, fun fact. Yeah. Anyways, sounds like a plan. We'll try and be quick and we'll buy you something to eat. Okay, thank you. I wonder why they chose her specifically, but yeah, all right.
Oh, bonjour, mademoiselles. That's the best I can pronounce.
Oh, sorry, we don't speak French. Well, the only words that Eli said she knew was bonjour, but whatever. There's a superhero left to guard near a food place. I would do that too. Like, you can't leave me near food and expect me to starve. Yeah. Again, of all people, having Earth Pop be the one to do... Yeah, exactly. So the reason is old and I still love. Okay, yeah. Oh, so going to be fair, there's this random fact when I made just for designs for Fauna gave Eagle mechanical wings. Yeah. I guess that tracks. Fun fact about this, incidentally, in one of Tom Scar's videos, he talks about at random details to do with like all of his videos on the main channel that he had at the time, and one thing that he mentioned in an episode where someone captures an alien, but it turns out the alien is dressed like a French person. The dressed like a French person is an actual French person, but he was handed his costume and he was incredibly confused as to why that was his outfit. And it turns out that's because French people do not know of the stereotype of French fashion outside of France. So there you go.
I was gonna say he looks like that one mime in that one of the two miraculous Ladybug episodes I've watched.
Ah, yeah. Well, I mean, his name was Mime, actually. Well, it's a super. Well, I mean, his Akumatai's name was Mime, which incidentally, they didn't translate in the Spanish version, so they just call him Meme. That was the way that like Spanish Hawk wanted his name. Meme. Soy sombradopted, or whatever. Yeah. Yes, it was Mime the Mime. That is correct. That is what they went with. Valuable English? Anglais, but yes. Yeah, it would be pronounced meme, of course. Yeah, but that because the Spanish I is pronounced the same way as the English E. So that's why it would sound like that. Yeah. MLB everyone. Okay, they get a lot more creative in other episodes. Even some ones that really dive into French culture, I'll say that much. Just not that particular one. Anyway. Oh, she even had the hype. Oh, good conjugation, yeah. That's true.
Do I speak English? Oh, yeah. Yes, I do. Welcome to my store. I am Maurice. May I help you?
Now I'm just thinking that that Maurice is spelled differently is actually also is actually also a last name.
I read that.
Like,
with an A.
No, well, yes. So Maurice is like spelt like that in terms of the first name, but Maurice the last name, which would be MEU the MEURISSE, if I remember correctly. Which now I'm thinking that I want to introduce a character somewhere that's called Maurice, but like it's spelt like the different versions. I would love to see that. Anyway,
there's a chance in this episode.
I cannot move it anymore. Yeah,
Maurice, I can no longer move it.
Yeah, that is what I think of when I think of the first name Maurice. When I think of the last name Maurice, I think of my of my old theater rivals, which were which were two brothers. They also have two sisters, but mainly interacted with the brothers because they're closer in age. But anyway,
was one of their first names Maurice?
No, but now I am definitely naming a character that at some point. You're saying that Jazz. Oh, okay. You want me to show you those? Okay, all right then. Guess we'll do that. Ah, yes.
Also, looking for a box of chocolates is so vague in a chocolate shop, unless that's like what their point is. Because I don't know if they're looking
potentially
for a specific one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because they might be looking for a specific one, and if so,
we'll see what he says. He might
don't just ask for a box of chocolate. You like describe what the box looks like and stuff, and what kind of chocolate it is.
Yeah, either they're going to describe it in some way, or they're going, or he's going to tell them all the different options that they have.
Fair.
Okay, here we go. Old Jazz Pop's redesigns loading now. There they are. You know something, that the power of flight is actually relatively rare when it comes to pops. I think mainly because in the source material they couldn't convincingly. Yeah, well, they're like aviator goggles. So again, very like that does help with the whole flight idea. But yeah, I imagine that the reason behind why like flight is such a rare power is because in the source material they couldn't make it convincing for the live action actors to be flying on a green screen on their budget. So yeah, that's fair. I've seen the Richard Donner Superman movies, so I know how that can fall apart very quickly if not done correctly.
How good of a pop do you think JoJo Siwa would be if they were in this universe?
Now there's a good question. Are we talking about post rebrand or pre rebrand?
Pre rebrand.
Okay, all right. Then I imagine relatively good, actually. There's one thing you can say about JoJo's C-words. It's definitely hardworking and
Which should be the JoJo pop, the
bursting with
Joe pop,
energy.
or the Siwa pop.
Well, I mean, they're meant to have like different things compared to like their actual names, because otherwise it gives away their identity. So she wouldn't
Pink
go with
pop.
JoJo Pop unless she was, well, yeah, Pink Pop, Pinky Pop potentially, yeah, something along those lines, or Bow Pop. But that's obviously very close to JoJo, so I don't know, or at least was again different.
Also, I can't wait for one of the villains to memorize what their face looks like. And then just be passing by them on the street and be like, wait a minute.
That's a good point, because in none of the iterations of the Pops ever wear masks or of any sort, so you just have to assume that they're protected by magic in this form.
Is it like the Clark Kent situation, where you wouldn't expect a Pop to be your average day person?
Potentially, it could also be magic, but I don't think they ever delve into that in the source material or the franchise. The Jazz Pops did have their entities revealed in like late season 3, I think it was, but for a specific group of villains. But yeah, to the average person, they probably they wouldn't know where to begin looking, I suppose, because not like they operate in like one main location like Superman. They're pretty. They're in Paris right now. They're not usually, so there's that. Oh, we have many different boxes with thousands of combinations.
That's gonna take a while to look through.
Yeah.
Is there a specific combination you have in mind? Flavor, size?
Mm-hmm. This is one background character knows entered, but nobody believes them. that would be very hilarious, actually.
I believe this Pop is.
Yeah, maybe that's Maurice actually. It's like, I saw them transform. Yeah, all right then.
All right, Maurice.
Mm-hmm. We're not exactly sure yet. Yeah, I don't think they know, because otherwise they would have a bit more of a clue where to begin.
Oh well, then be our guest and take a look around. See if anything suits you.
Be our guest, put our chocolates to the test. I had to. With a French character, you have to. Okay, thank you. I thought that was her stomach for a second, but no, it's an engine revving, I think.
She kind of is like a bouncer.
In a sense, but bouncers normally stand by the door and not, a few steps away from it. She's not a very good bouncer. That is one of the villains, by the way. She's looking at the floor right now, so,
Yeah.
Of course it was a Beauty and the Beast reference. It was a French character saying the words, be our guest. I'm absolutely going to make the reference.
Be our guest, put our chocolate to the test.
Yeah. Here's a fun story. We found a box of chocolates on our doorstep. No idea what they were. Well, you know what they were, where they came from, or who sent them. So we took them inside and shared and stared at it. I would be suspicious of, food being out to my doorstep during a pandemic as well. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, hey! Hi! Earth Pop. Hello, Earth. Wait a minute. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Again, why they leave her guarding? Meanwhile, in a different shop.
I like to imagine when she was looking down, she was like, oh, a penny.
Yeah, maybe.
What's that doing here in France?
Mm-hmm.
France. Ah, bonjour. Pleasure was... Oh, that... Bro, my pronunciation. I
think it's... I think it's puis je vous aider. I think that's how you would say it. Anyway. Talking about my door, they're moving to Antarctica. That's just weird. Imagine if they did that in Antarctica. You're like,
This reminds
where'd they
me
come from?
when someone kept leaving a can of beans at my door for like a week.
To Earth Pop. I mean, but yeah, that's some people have the most bizarre like sense of prank. Was like, technically harmless pranks, but still.
I gave one of those can of beans to my friend for their birthday.
Instead of the table was contaminated poison something, which a junkie roommate pulled a yawn and began eating. Hey, Bunt's roommate. No, I'm listening to your mind. Do not take a chocolate. Do you hear me? Don't react. They've had enough. They could be infected. No, don't. You're staring at them right now.
I like to imagine while you're staring at them, he's just staring at them with like drools coming out of his mouth, and he's like, "Must have one."
Yeah. Have the chocolate Bond's roommate. Okay. Moving on. I like how they're not actually investigating the different boxes, they're just staring at the boxes. That just reminds me of how in old Disco Pops episodes, Johnny used to put like this sound effect on every time someone gasped, with just them going like that, and it's like there's every single time it's the same sound effect. It's like it always cracked me up. I gotta get ready for ballet. All right, fair enough then.
Enjoy ballet.
Yeah, we didn't get to the lots of love parts in this episode yet, at least. Unless the chocolates have the same effect that the chocolate cauldrons did in Half-Blood Prince, another Harry Potter reference that you haven't seen, but it's a thing. Yeah. I think often his mouth and literal powder green fog came out of his mouth. He was fine after we thought he was done. Yeah, all right, that tracks. Oh, shooting the powder. Naturally, of course. What else would you have done in that situation?
Shooting mysterious powder at people.
Did you find it? No. It's Leo! And he's speaking fluent French? Off screen? What a coincidence! I do give Eli credit, though.
What if he's just gonna buy some chocolates? Are they gonna assault him when he's just gonna buy some chocolates?
I think that did happen in a previous episode where a villain was just like chilling in a park at one point and they were like, we're here to stop you. But aside from that situation, normally they are correct to interfere. We'll see if that happens again. Oui, merci. Wait, that's the...
Why una bat magani easy? I cannot do French.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that says yeah. Do you know that there is a magic box here, which is exactly what that. So I guess when you speak French to people, they're more cooperative. That's the takeaway I'm getting from this.
Is there Dora the Explorer in the background?
That does that yeah, she is reminiscent. Then again, after years of people doing of telling me one of my characters like Dora, I've grown a high threshold for us. Like, okay, yeah, Dora adjacent. All right then.
I wonder if she's gonna like shove the bad guy into her backpack.
Well, so this is a very good point. Yeah, all he said was "oui merci." Like all he said was "yes, thank you." That was like, as far as speaking fluent French, not really. Not exactly that. So yeah, I mean, maybe there's more. Maybe they had a bit more of a conversation, and that's why. And he wasn't saying yes, thank you to the "Can I help you" line. I mean, missed out a part because otherwise he didn't say anything. So yes, Jess and Amy's old design. So these two are the civilian forms of two of the Disco Pops who live in Paris and are the daughters of Marinette and Adrian and Nino and Alia, respectively.
Is that a Disco Pops reference?
It is a Disco Pops reference. Two, in fact. So yes, he is casually dropping there's a magical box. That is exactly right.
I mean, to be fair, the Pops are also random people.
That is true, but they did say they're coming in for looking for a box of chocolates. They didn't think might be after the magic one, considering that people are aware that the pops exist in this world. They're not mysterious entities. They are world famous. So he should have probably put two and two together.
So if I was in there and
really
dyed my hair a crazy color and wore a color dress to match it, I could just go anywhere?
Not necessarily. I mean, but...
And if that did work, I'd probably get jumped by one of the villains.
Potentially, if they happen to be around. Okay, like obviously they have a common goal here. They didn't just bump into each other in the middle of Paris by coincidence. Although then again, I guess there's a bit of course that they end up looking in the exact same chocolate shop, and that the chocolate shop in question happened to be the one that had the magic box in it, and that's the first one they looked in. But
I like to believe. I think Leo was like running block to block, chocolate shop to chocolate shop, and that's why he arrived later.
That is fair, yeah. And the jazz pop just got lucky. All right. With you.
Voi dovessa ad amor le travar. Vos sois quando vos travessela por voi amor.
Well, there's the love part, I guess.
I'm gonna get French people to either hate me or understand me for not knowing French.
Oh no, it's fine. We've all heard Aiden speak French. You're about on par with him, so you know, it's nothing we haven't heard before, unfortunately. Also, nobody's angry French person yet. We need we need Bond a little bit. I'm doing my best here, but yeah, Aiden has set the bar high. Exact. Well, high in a sense. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, you'll know when you find I forgot what celui means for your love. Forgot the word. That's the one word I'm missing right now. Yeah, I'm hoping if Bond is there. Yeah. Oh no, it says this one. Okay, this one or that one. So yeah, you'll know when you find that one but then for your love. There you go. Oh, of course. Okay, yeah.
Also, how convenient no one else is in the chocolate shop.
Well, I mean, two people are in the chocolate shop. That you know, it's rare to see extras in the show, but I mean, I guess the extras are plot relevant to some degree. They are cameos, but still.
Are the old disco pops gonna jump the villain as well? Or are they just gonna be like, damn?
They might. They might, because you know that like they clearly look in that direction, and of all people who would be able to help the jazz in this situation, it would be those two. This was very good. Yeah, I mean, I would like to imagine. Yeah, of course, that's the thing. See, when you're translating like one word at a time, it's one thing, but obviously the more words you input into any translation software, the more likely you're going to end up yielding bad results. They have improved the technology, in recent years, but it's not perfect. There's actually a rule in the school that I work in where, the students aren't allowed to use Google Translate, but they can use word reference because word reference has a one-word limit. So they have to think about the grammatical structure themselves. That's the idea.
I have an idea. What if we had Barry B. Benson come in and say, "You like jazz?" just once?
What would that provide? What would that be in aid of?
Proving that they like jazz.
They are the jazz pops, after all. That was implied.
Mm-hmm. But do we know if they like jazz, or is it just come with a name?
Most of the time, because again, based on the source material, aside from the super pops, the originals, they are all of the pop group names. I guess the super pops are a pop group, but the K-pops, for example, are a K-pop group. The rap pops are a rap group, as well as superheroes. That's the gimmick. So following that, supposedly the jazz pops would be a jazz group, but they don't really perform many songs. They do perform a couple of them. They're not so I guess, but they're not really jazz themed, at least.
I can't wait for the pops.
Well, you say that. You say that. They were introduced as a joke. Yeah, exactly. Von is think about this. Yeah, funny you mentioned that. So so the jazz pops in universe are comprised of Bon and myself. We weren't supposed to be part of the franchise because that was a spoof video that Bon made making fun of the tropes that you would see in the franchise itself. And not so much the source material because only I've seen that, but Bon was in charge of the script, so yeah. And it was essentially the pair of us going through that stuff. Then I guess because Tamsin didn't get the memo that was not meant to be canon, she made an offhand remark about me being a member of the Pop Pops. I think only like last week, basically. We've been
we need a Pop Pops cameo where they're just drastically serious.
Oh, we've been appearing as cameos for quite a while now in the franchise, just not as the Pop Pops, because again, that was not supposed to be canon until last week. Well, it wasn't supposed to be canon at all, but it wasn't canon until last week. Is my main point. Yeah. We only got one cameo. Thank you very much. So far, at least. Really only okay. Well, I guess collectively we have been we have been appearing more than once. I'm sure you'll get more. Oh, they're saying, I didn't know Leo could speak French. So yeah, now is an example of him speaking French. Well, Google Translate French, but still close enough. Who's the new person? I smell new blood. Okay, then.
What? No!
Why was it made canonized though? Because Tamsin doesn't know the difference between a spoof and a new edition, and also because I guess she just assumed that that every new pop video was made to be in the same universe, because like we are so like closely connected as reviewers to the franchise that it would naturally follow that we would be contributing to it, which is not really the case. Of all people, Tamsin actually
put down the pitchfork and torch.
My goodness, yeah. What's that? We have a new person? I'm afraid of new people. Rabble, 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 rabble. She is from Texas, in all fairness. I was going to say something else now. I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah. The Tamsin of all people should have been the most aware that, not everything would be like automatically declared canon, because for a while, actually, especially the early days of reviewing the Treat Pop content that Tamsin made, it was actually not that like the origins of Treat Pop was so different, and there didn't seem like any connection to like any particular groups at the time. There later were, and Majesty, the leader of all the pops, like didn't even show up for many seasons. Actually, it was only recently when she seemed to have like done like a hard shift over to not but including the ballet pops, but also like making Ebony Pop herself, as seen right here, but Eli as well, a mainstay of the Treat Pop series itself, Treat Pop Adventures, like the new one. Was very clear before she intended something to be separate. She of all people should have been aware that okay, not everyone is going to connect something immediately. So, Do
you think the Pops have life insurance?
Based on how they're recruited, no.
How are they recruited?
Someone
just show up to them and be like, "You're a Pop. Bye."
Yes. Well, not yeah. Even in the source material, that's exactly how it goes. Like, oh yes, you are now a magical girl. You are now a magical girl. Yeah, the different thing. But now, It's like, here's your transfer. You're going to a different school right now. You can't tell your family. This is your destiny. Here's your thing to transform, and good luck. That's not even like the
guy
Gacha
becomes
mode.
a
That is
pop
like
and
just
he
episode 1
transforms.
of the series.
Do you think a guy could become a pop?
Well, aside from the pops are now canon, so yes, I guess. But to answer your question, actually, there's someone called Nino the Kind-Hearted Kid who is currently making making a series that is I think it's called the Angel Pops that are all guys. The British Pops is meant to have a guy appear in at some point, but he hasn't showed up either. And also, this is another thing, which, by the way, a lot of people in the franchise probably don't remember this, that there was an offhand remark at one point when the Super Pops like traveled to the future and Cheshire was there, and he found out that in his future he actually formed a male version of the Super Pops, which was clearly Total TV like trying to expand a market, but they never went through with the idea. But Cheshire did say a male version of Super Pops, good idea. So there is some precedent for Cheshire leading his own team at some point of all guys. Just throwing that one out there in case anyone forgot about that episode. Okay, Kid here.
New blood, new blood, new blood.
All right, calm down, Alexander.
Alexander Hamilton.
It seems like I'm about to get sacrificed.
I was thinking Alexander from Misfits, but yeah, that works too.
I'm about to get
sacrificed.
Oh yeah,
I am totally Alexander, the French guy, who wants revenge and whatnot. Yes,
it's fitting. It's fitting, I guess.
But anyways,
not that he
how
ever
is
speaks
the
French,
crazy
but
news?
yeah.
I don't
The
speak
craziness?
French.
Again, you can look up French words, just like. But okay, yeah.
No, hold on. We need to get this straight about Misfits here. Alexander is pretending to have a French accent. Even said herself, she's just like, "Oh God, why are you doing that fake French accent or whatever? It's not gonna get the ladies."
I know, but surely he knows a few French words to go along with the ruse, right? Like, imagine if one of said ladies, asked him to say something in French. Which, by the way, I will say this is a very common thing that happens to bilingual people. Say something in insert language here. It's like, oh, okay, sure.
What's Misfits?
Oh, you want to know about Misfits? Misfits. My book is on Amazon right now, the first book, and I'm working on book 2 and 3. It is a novella in a trilogy series about a mafia assassin trying to solve her evil brother.
I will not say something in Canadian.
We had the same idea, yeah.
Go get it now before a new edition comes out. Thanks so
yeah, technically, this is the first edition, so it doesn't look like this anymore. But the cover's still the same.
This is the second edition, which has better font and better storytelling.
Well, yeah, because you've got regular, essentially Microsoft Word formatting here, which the first edition of my book also had. But yeah, dark times indeed. Dark times. These are dark times.
Let me butcher this French. Quoi? Chose est française?
Quelque chose. Which means something in French. That's what that means. He's saying something in French Which is exactly what I do. I say algo en español when someone asks me to say something in Spanish for the same reason. What was it? That bar that Aiden said is like slightly lowering, isn't it? All right. Anyways, I didn't even know Leo could speak French.
Gacha and review. I alone in the French butcherer.
Well, I guess we should find him before he does. I bet he's after it for the Star Tribe.
Oh. Once again, a different story. I like to just like the different angles.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. What's happening in the jazz bomb since I just got here?
So they were looking for a box of chocolates in a store with thousands of boxes of chocolates and in different combinations. And I guess they realized like, oh yeah, this one looks important. It must be the one that's in the middle of the table by itself. I suppose.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think this looks like the one. Oh yeah, the episode's also called Lots of Love because I guess there's going to be something love-related, like its power. It's one of the planetary possessions that they're looking for, basically. It's part of a collectathon that they're doing. Yep, and Leo has... Sorry.
There you go,
Don't shout that. Don't shout that. Leo's gonna run over to that room now.
And Leo hasn't even seen it! We can get out of here now!
Be a coupe d'amor.
Beaucoup d'amour. But yeah. Yeah. In Spanish would be mucho amor.
Yeah, we don't talk about how I mispronounced something when I was doing a Birthday 3 stream where Bon kept telling me GK as punishment. We don't talk about that.
Yes, Les Miserables. That's right.
I just never heard
You brought it up!
Don't judge me for saying B.O. Cup.
Dieter, would you mind moving a little bit away from your microphone, please?
Okay.
Alright, there we go. RIP headphone users.
I never wear my headphones. Ow!
Yeah.
Ah!
I guess since we're on the subject, what would the episode title be in Japanese?
Oh, okay, so I know love is daisuki, in Japanese. I know lots of...
Wait, daisuki or daisuke?
Daisuki.
Okay, fair enough. So not the main character of Kesaru. Fair enough. Just checking.
No.
I forgot. I have cat ears and advanced hearing.
Like, daisuki!
Daisuki.
The translation is love. There you go. That's how you say it in Japanese. Fantastic.
If you want to be cute, this is how you be cute. Ready? Here we go.
What was? Okay, KW. What was the one? Okay, what was that one that D&D character that you were gonna pair with like Professor Cracknuckle? I forgot what the name was now.
My name is Girly Pop. I'm from down south.
Basically, yeah. I think her name was Daisy, but yeah.
Daisuki.
Daisuki.
well, Daisuki.
Well, I'll be Daisuki.
Well, I'll be Daisuki.
I cannot keep a straight face, actually, not gonna lie.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I couldn't either when you're doing that. Girly Pop from down south is wild. Yeah, we don't have a character in the Pops franchise called Girly Pop just yet. Anyway. I'm gonna try to say Le Miserable. I always heard Mirabelle from Encanto.
No,
yeah.
French.
Okay, how would you pronounce the title of that play then?
Les Miserables.
Okay, that is worse. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. New record. Okay.
I still say it wrong.
Okay, no, never mind. You still got the record. I take it back. Yeah. Okay.
No, I can't.
Merisbel. You're switching the R and the S around.
Hold on. Les Miserables. Les Miserables.
Okay.
Summon the French.
Okay, so as a general rule of thumb, in French, you don't pronounce the last vowel in a word, and if it's followed up by an S or an X, you also don't pronounce it.
Oh, so it's like
so that's
Les Miserables.
Closer.
Yeah,
closer. Yeah. Yeah. Misérable. Yeah.
Les Miserables. Wait, what? did I just say? Like,
You just said Mies Mes Blab.
Blab.
Mies Mes Blab.
You know what this reminds me of? This is like remind me of that episode of Friends where what's her name? Phoebe, yes, Phoebe, and she was like doing that Bedell with Joey, and he does it right slowly, and then she's like Bedell, Joey, beep.
Yeah. Okay. So what you just described there was actually the first series of clips I watched ever of the show Friends. My French teacher showed us that as an example of, I guess, trying to apply French in the real world. Because obviously the reason he's learning French is because he's got an audition. He's got to speak French in that. It somewhat makes sense. It was relevant to just me because I was the only actor in the class. But I guess one of the only person who was like actively, did it outside of school time, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, not that I need any convincing of the use of languages outside of the classroom, because obviously I just come there from Spain. But my attempt at saying "let me say up" without my speech impediment.
Oh no!
I can. Well, with my paid plan of StreamYard, I can play custom audio. So if you do want to send that in, I can actually have that on the stream.
I will pay you.
I wanna listen to
But no, come on, leave her be. She's been through enough.
Yeah, leave her be. We need to listen to this.
Well, I guess while
Right.
we're waiting, we could continue the video.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's do that. Leo hasn't seen it yet. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, hold on, wait a second. Do you remember? Has anyone here ever seen Nerdy Prudes Must Die? Do you remember like the part where like Peter fires the bullet and Max Jaegerman just goes like. Oh, I can catch it.
Wow. You made my cough come back. That's how bad it was. You made my cough come back.
Oh, I didn't know you still had one to begin with. My bad.
I didn't have it for a little while. It just now came back.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And yes, it is an iconic Max Jaegerman moment as well. I think that's one of the best examples of how to actually do a, interrupt a dramatic moment with a comedic moment. Yeah.
But I forgot who Leo was until I saw him on screen, and I have to say, why he's looking hot today?
Try
He's looking
it.
hot.
Try a GK.
Look,
Period. Come on then. Hammer emoji.
Look. I'm just saying he looks better than all of these jazz pop girlies here. I'm just saying
Leo, you're looking hot today. Dice key.
No, I should have never taught you Daisuke! Oh my god!
Yokaso. Watashi no Soul Society. Daisuke.
All right. Adding that one to the repertoire now. Anyway, are they just not gonna?
They're not
Is
gonna
he
do
invisible
anything.
or something now?
Oh,
Is he
freak! I didn't know there'd be a skeleton here. I'm so freaking scared of skeletons.
Basically, yeah. Skeleton. Yeah.
I'll be taking
10
this.
out of 10 superheroes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
maybe he's gone invisible or something. Like he's using like a sneak ability of some kind. I don't remember him.
I like to
but
imagine they're just letting him through, like Earth popped in. And they're gonna be like, wait a minute.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Spooky, scary skeletons send shivers down your spine.
Okay, how do I? Okay, I've got the message now. I don't know if. How do I download like this type of file from Discord? Because it's like, you know how it's like, okay, just like it's the thing where is there like new format? No, yeah, but normally like the files will be sent that way. But like this is like, I think it was like because this is actually recorded with Discord itself.
I'm pretty sure you hold on it. I'm pretty sure you hold on it. Then there should be a download option.
Is that with a phone, or do I just hold my mouse and click on it?
I think that's a phone, but I think you can like tap on the.
Yeah, I was going to say. There are no 3 dots. That is the problem.
Damn.
Oh wait. Oh, you mean on the other message? Okay, let me see. Nope, not seeing it right now. Can you send that as a sound file, please? Yes, can you? Oh, he's already doing it. Okay, never mind.
She's like, I got this. I can fix this.
Yeah, fair enough then. Thank you. Mine now.
Wait a minute.
Also, the problem is not downloading audio from mobile. The problem is that I've never downloaded a voice clip that's recorded in Discord itself. It's always been like people sending sound files over, and that's been perfectly fine for literal years.
That actually remind me of a question to ask you later.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's okay. This is a video file.
They just let him. They let him.
They just let him. They just like, oh no, Leo's here. Oh no, they're seeing a box. Even though we can do something about it. We're terrible pops.
Yeah, I mean, with Earth Pop, you know, being so scatterbrained, it kind of makes sense. But I mean, unless he's like using an ability, I don't think he would just be able to walk up like that. The one thing the Pops are able to do most of the time is like keep the enemies at a distance.
No, but the I spoke too soon means that they saw him there.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I didn't mean to play it like immediately while you were talking, but yeah, here we go. This guy stinks, yeah. Okay, here we go. Video file version. That is actually better than these two.
Hey! Rude!
8 out of 10. Yeah, see, there you go. It's pretty good.
What?
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Missed the S, but yeah. All right.
Miss me at that.
Leo, give it back. We're gonna get it. We were gonna get it.
Yeah.
No, I'm a villain.
Yeah.
Why would I give it to you?
My turn to send an audio file.
Oh no,
it's just a scream.
No.
Just
Here's the
a
thing.
scream.
No. This is Spawn right now doing this, like as ammo with fire right now, being like.
So you're like you're charting up a spirit bomb.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Give me all your energy.
Not quite. Not quite. Yeah. Wrong. Yeah. Of course, Sonic attire because classic stream wear, obviously. But yeah.
I have like what 3-4 Sonic shirts now at this point.
I mean, I have a couple of Dragon Ball shirts, and I'm not wearing one either. So yeah, never mind.
Yes, I have destroyed your eardrums.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Maybe I should invest in a microphone stand instead of just holding it.
All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm guessing you're referring to the letter S with your speech impediment. Which, yeah, by the way, speech impediment is one of the cruelest terms ever because you can't say the word speech impediment if you have any sort of speech impediment. Like, who came up with that idea?
It's almost as cruel as the phobia for long words being a long word,
and the phobia of palindromes being a palindrome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, Leo, give it back. We're going to get it.
You should have taken it then.
I
mean, he's not wrong now. He's not wrong.
Why are we back in a school? You had 3 other chocolate shop backgrounds. Why are we in a school now?
No, it's funny. I was like, you just stood there. Of course, I think I need to take it because you guys stood there. If you don't want me to take it, then you have to take it yourself. But no, you just stare at it like it's some like
wait.
Something.
If he purchased it, do you think they couldn't take it from him since he legally purchased it?
I mean, maybe.
Less miserable.
Less miserable.
There was no exchange of money, so I don't think he purchased it yet.
Oh no, Jacob's underwater.
My mic died. It's gonna
I
reach-
tried to scream, but my head was underwater.
Let's see, Rebaba.
It's underwater, but I'm screaming fine. Ah! Anyway, yeah, you should have taken that. I agree. Yeah.
Oh my god! Why is this been so face? Wait, why am I okay?
You were just standing there, admiring it.
Wait, hold on. Is that coming from me? No. Okay, the echo is going.
Yeah, I think my microphone's fixed because I did that. I tap it to like hear the sound bites. So
That
I
was
think I'm good now.
you. Okay. But anyway, the villain
No
is so
idea.
base right now. The villain is so base because he's like, you were just standing there doing nothing and admiring it. Of course, I was going to take it.
Yeah, they weren't even admiring it. A lot of them weren't even like looking in its general direction. Why do you need it so bad? Well, why did you need it so bad? I mean, I guess, was it really a coincidence that you just like came in here and the guy told about the magic box and it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll take it then. I was in the neighborhood. Was he Spider-Man? I was in the neighborhood.
Why do we need it? Why do we need it?
Why do you need it?
Yeah. It's Cancer's birthday soon, so I'm getting her a present. And this one has her favorites. Can I? Yes, I can open M4A files. Yeah. What's in the box?
My precious. What's in the box?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, by the way, this really flies in the face of, you know, Forrest Gump's timeless philosophy of life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. In most boxes of chocolates, you very much do know what you're going to get. They tell you at the back. Yeah.
but not with someone who.
Sometimes they also tell you on the front.
Yeah. Even then, exactly.
Unless the chocolate box says mysterious chocolates, you don't know which one you're going to get. Wish you luck.
Time for a chocolate wine bag.
Life is like a box of chocolates. Sometimes they're full of green powder that explodes in your mouth.
Oh, bot sent it.
Okay, there we go. All right. Let me just.
Bot's gonna scream at us.
Ha, HHH.
Ah! My brain is so spinning fast right now, even though it was fried when writing stuff to do.
Crying emoji.
Crying emoji.
Where did it save? Oh, there it is. Okay, didn't show up. Oh, wait a second. No, that's that. And now I know why. It's because I was putting it in the wrong place.
Oh my god. Jacob, get it organized!
Don't me say Daisuke again.
Do it. Do the Daisuke. Do the
No,
Daisuke.
no.
Do the Daisuke! Do the Daisuke! Put your hands in the heart shape. Come on, it's time for run with you and me. Do the Daisuke!
Okay, it was not as what I thought you were going to do. I thought you were going to do something like in Kaiba or Nobby's or any other character I have a crush on.
I very much could, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, don't you dare. And you're like, and then you did the Mario. I was like, okay, it's not as bad.
Daisuke.
I summoned the blue-eyes Daisuke dragon!
No, and now we're in the war zone. Get banned! Get banned! Get banned! Get banned!
It's my channel, what are you talking about?
I'm taking over the channel now.
Alright, anyway. We'll die ski, princess.
Jacob, do your best Golem. Do your best Golem impression from The Hobbit.
Oh no, that's one of the only impressions that I like have been terrible at for years.
Dang.
Yeah, I know. It's a real shame.
C'est comme ça.
Anyway.
Les misérables. Encore. Les misérables. Pas les Mirabelles. Non. Les misérables. D'accord? Fais-le comme il faut.
Miserable.
Je vous déteste tout, mon Dieu. C'est comme ça. Les Misérables.
Oh,
Encore?
okay, it's looping. Never mind. There you go. That was the loop. All right.
Ooh.
There you go. Les
Onward.
Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
I think that's the best you can get from me.
Yeah. Yeah. So all you're missing now is like the R, like the from there. But yeah. Anyway.
No, I cannot do that. No, I cannot do that. You see, this is why you know what? This is why I'm not born in French or Canada where I can speak French because I know I can't do it.
I was not born in French or Canada. Can we just analyze that for a second?
As a Canadian, I feel offended.
This is what I mean with my brain going super fast. I did think before I speak, but I mix my words up. This is what I'm talking about.
As a Canadian, I feel offended that you'd call us Canada.
This is what I mean. No. Bye. Drink up.
I wanna be an American idiot. I'd rather be in French or Canada.
Canada.
Drink up. Now you see what I mean when my brain doesn't.
I saw it before when we talked about it. It's just funny to point out in this situation. All right. Anyway, sure you don't have a better reason.
That's
That's
very
very-
thoughtful. But those chocolates are dangerous.
Oh,
But
okay.
I want them.
Well,
I-
these are a bit dangerous, my friend. Dangerous. Sorry.
What's the word? He's a coming. Who's a coming?
No.
Angry French person is a coming. The star of the show. Okay.
No.
Listen, do it. The festival's bred to the original Baldur's Gate stream. I heard one say the music had plenty of times. It's good at mimicking people's estimate. Yeah. I mean, that's what I say. When you're asked to do like something, do an impression of something, listen to the audio and then like regurgitate it immediately. That's the method.
I don't like the word I don't like how you use the word regurgitate. That's like moist. La vedette.
Yeah.
Get the card.
Yeah, fair enough.
Angry French person, I will drag you away with my bad French.
Well, no, that's what summons. That was what summons them in the first place.
What does that say?
La vedette du spectacle. I'm assuming it says something like as a spectacle.
The star of the show, I think. Yeah.
The star of
The star of the show. Dot.
Yeah. The star of the show. Dun-dun-dun. Yeah.
What's this? What?
Word? What's the word? He's a coming. Who's a coming? I'm a coming.
No. Angry Fish person, listen. I didn't mean to. This is what. No. I explained this to Mon. I have explained this to Jacob. My mind is like Sonic the Hedgehog when he's running fast, and I do things before I speak. And my words just gets mixed up, and I don't slow it down.
She's wearing a Sonic t-shirt right now. It tracks.
Literally.
What do you think of our attempts? Should you rate them, or it's your turn? I would imagine the ratings would be fairly similar.
No.
Although maybe not.
If she eats one and looks at something else, you can fall in love with that thing.
Just he rubs his hands together and goes even better.
Wow, okay. 0 to 10 for everyone, except KW, minus 15 out of 10 for KW.
No. I can do it better. Please give me one more chance. Please give me one more chance. Please. Please.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, God. Let's marry up.
Again, you mixed up the R and the S.
Elizabeth.
Also, last consonant again. Le would be just without the s there.
We got a Twitch viewer.
Okay, hold on.
Le.
Right?
Le.
Le. There we go.
How's it going? About this well.
No, sorry. Words. Oh my god. Brain, slow down. Deep breath, slow down. Marisol.
Again, on the S. Yes, me.
What?
Yeah. Me.
Me?
No,
Rap.
Kitty,
Yeah.
you did amazing.
Yeah.
Ashtakatskura. Sonne. Du blendest encore. Plastandli. Negative.
What does that say?
It's gonna make it worse.
What does that say?
Every chance I give you, you plunge further into the negative.
Hold on, let me just hear it. Hold on. Let me.
Wait, do you have the audio as well?
No, I just want to hear. Hold on.
I can send you the file if you want.
Hold on. Let me.
All right. I'm just gonna send you the file on Discord.
Le, Miss Rehab. Le, Miss Rehab. Is that
You're
better?
close. I mean, it's better. You're saying Miss Rehab now, but you're close. Yeah.
Hold on. Le, Miss Rehab. Le, Miss Rehab. Le, Miss Rehab.
Now the R and the E are being reversed.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting there.
Angry French person.
Le,
Execute them.
Missy Rapid. Le, Missy Rapid.
Le miserable. Miserable.
Well, that was progress, and then there you go.
No, that was Zito, not me. That was Zito.
I know.
See,
I can tell the difference between your voices. I know.
I was like, don't you dare blame me. I'm not a part of this. I'm not part of this
No, it was
cult where I have.
KW. It was totally KW.
I think you're both collectively just part of the problem for the hungry French person.
Le miserable. Le miserable. I think that's the best you can get from me. What does that say? Oh no.
Yeah. It's bad when the Boucher. Actually, I have to look up the word Boucher because I forgot that one.
Toy at Ghost Kitty Cat, the Queen of Cats. At Ghost Kitty Cat, the Queen of Cats.
Yes.
Wait, what? What's that?
Well, was there something else you wanted to add after that, or just saying the name of a person? Oh, sorry. So you Ghost. Okay, yeah. All right, fine. I didn't see the last message. Okay. All right. Anyway, kind of like what happens in the Shakespeare play, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Actually, it's more like what happens in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, actually, because in A Midsummer Night's Dream, it was a sprite doing the things themselves. In Half-Blood Prince, it was literally chocolate cauldrons.
But
it's beautiful, isn't it? The moon. I can't stop thinking about her. I think I love her. Dice key, Harry.
oh my god! I will smash you to a million pieces.
A dice key, Harry.
Stop talking about Harry Potter. This is the 5th reference. No, it's enough.
No, actually, speaking of Harry Potter,
so relevant.
You know what's funny? Was actually funny. I was like, because I think everyone knows that I have put a post saying hey, I might do a stream today. And to be honest, I also explanation here. I totally forgot. I said I might do a stream today. I was so focused on writing, and I was looking at the time. I was like, oh, I forgot that this is the time where I usually stream. And I said I might do a stream today. I can do it tomorrow. I can put it off.
Yeah. I mean, or you could do it directly after this as well. You know?
Yeah.
You-
But anyway, so I said like, oh, do you want to share my old? Should I share my old stories or play modern Minecraft? And everyone says share my old stories.
Oh, absolutely. Especially after Project SNT, you've got the format down.
I may or may not have found something that has to do with Harry Potter relation, where I may have a character that is Harry's like cousin or whatever. I don't know.
Harry senpai, daisuki.
Okay, it's a cousin, but still, okay,
Yeah.
all right, interesting.
Yeah, but here's the thing. She's not really like amputee or anything like that. So the question is, did I just imagine that?
I'm guessing that she was probably listed on like the Potter side, like there's no like while the Potter's like escape
Probably
that follows them.
That probably makes more sense. But still, I was like, where's like this mystery, like simply that they have like because it's like, oh yeah, Harry's cousin, but she's not related to amputee or anything like that. I'm like, where does she come from?
I'm guessing you didn't want to be Dudley's sister, probably. No one would, to be honest.
No, I do not like it. But
does make you wonder what if Dudley had a younger sibling actually who was like much nicer to Harry as a result of just didn't like subscribe to the indoctrination basically.
wait. What did every French person said? Oh my god, I'm going.
The angry French person said, arrow, arrow.
No, this one, the one that's popping up.
Yeah, it's good.
The pen square, Edu, an Aussie, un trouble, le da parla, JK. No, not JK, GK.
Trouble de la parole. Yeah.
What does that say?
Trouble de la parole, I think is a phrase, but
I made up was trouble.
I think KW has speech impediment too, GK. Speech impediment?
oh right, okay, yeah. So oh yeah, so parole is speech. Yeah, I should have remembered that. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, if this character is Harry's cousin, then it makes sense for it to be.
oh yeah.
The
No.
most logical thing would be Dudley's sibling of some kind, but again, other side of the family could also be the case. Depends, actually.
But
I assume because most of the time, I'd imagine like any Harry Potter OC that someone might want to come up with would be a wizard. So I'm guessing it would be from the Potter side of family as well for that reason. But,
and to answer like every first person question, I almost said Bob, but we all know it's Bob. But pretending is a different person right now. I'm trying to remember because I technically did went to speech therapy to get help with my better speech or whatever, but I can't remember if it has to do with me actually have speech impediment or I just have. Oh no, I kind of forget. Hold on. What's speech impediment again? I'm not trying to get.
It's an impediment to your speech.
Yeah.
Jeez, Jacob, that is so helpful.
I don't know. You are. It's a self-explanatory term.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's kind of like where some words are hard for you to speak, right? Something like that.
Something is impeding you. It's an impediment.
Okay, yeah. I think I did. Okay, then I did have speech impediment because I remember I couldn't say basketball right. Sometimes again, it's still taking a struggle for me. Sometimes when I cannot think straight for the life of me.
Wait, what situation would you be required to say the words basketball ride? Basketball and ride don't really go together most of the time.
Look at that basketball ride.
I think because I actually like playing basketball.
Bingo, salad.
And
Beurre salé, salted butter.
But I keep saying something like basketball instead of basketball. I kept saying basketball.
Okay. Oh wait, you're saying okay? You couldn't say basketball right. Sorry, I thought you were saying basketball ride, as in that was a thing. Okay, now I get what you're saying. All right.
Yeah.
See,
again, look, see, you can see how my brain works out, Jacob. I just feel so happy, but also ashamed of myself at the same time.
When I was younger, I couldn't pronounce a lot of things, but not because of a speech impediment. I was just tongue twisted.
Speech therapy sucks. It didn't help me at all. Really, just play board games. For me, it was we do stuff like that.
That might have been the problem.
we kind of do that when it's like, so I wasn't like in like one city where I focus on the words or anything like that. We do have like break time where we go on like swings
The
or play
yokai puppeteer.
games.
Run
Like,
from the angry French
play
person.
games on whatnot, but then
Run.
also make it into like something fun for me to do to like learn the words again and how to say sentences correctly and whatnot as well. So I may still have some trouble to this day with a little bit of speech impediment, but it's not as bad as like you know how we talk about no one can speak KW? Yeah, it was way worse when I was younger. You would think I'm speaking a whole total like foreign language, like gibberish or something like that, when really I was just speaking English like right now.
Do you have any audio files from back then?
No, we didn't like record stuff or anything like that.
Well, I mean, depending on how long ago it was, Kirby has had a YouTube channel for 11 years, but unfortunately, I think it was like Article 13 time, basically. All those videos were deleted.
I was like, I was dumb and young back then, not realizing I could private them. So that was dumb little me. But now I know better. If you really think about it.
Yeah, which I guess also means that you didn't you couldn't send yourself like draft versions of videos to work between different computers. They would have to all have been public immediately, otherwise.
Yeah, and I think at that time you need to go back to speech. You need to go back to speech therapy for French immersion. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah, that was further up. Here it is. Yeah.
By the way, just let you know, I am kind of a little bit tired, so please tell me that you're actually joking one now because I can't tell right now.
Well, I mean, I don't think. Well, I mean, angry French person obviously would say to anyone to go to speech therapy for French immersion because
that's fair.
Look, I've got an agenda. Yeah. Also, yeah, well, my peers, the me, your ears, exactly.
The French person, the angry
Which
French person
did reference in her 11-year anniversary special. It was referenced.
Oh yeah, I did. I kind of forgot. No. Like, I kind of forgot. Okay, it's like it's been a while. I don't keep up with what videos I make these days.
Nah, it's fine. Yeah. Let me just dab in chat.
I go see.
Dab.
Torbeck's gonna style on the opposition with a great movie learned from the children.
Torbeck's gonna style on them.
Mm-hmm. And then he wrote a natural ones. It didn't help him. But anyway, don't be planning to write a fanfic call about what if Dudley had a sister. If you like knowledge on Harry Potter, never seen the movies, time to watch them. Well, I mean, I would definitely say. I mean, going with the movies is definitely the faster option. Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, I have 2 Harry Potter OCs. I just went over. One followed a role play where I basically was Voldemort's daughter, but I didn't read the Cursed Child yet. Oh, because they haven't come out. Oh, I feel disgusted. No.
Wait, what was the lore behind that one? Who was the mother? Was it also?
We never knew of the mother because I think she died.
I see.
I just would never because it was like back then when I hang out with my cousins or whatever at my aunt's house or whatever, and we would just like role play and we would be like, oh yeah, what if we're like the children of Harry Potter or whatever. We didn't know any better. I think we didn't read Harry Potter yet. We just knew of like the movies and like the characters. Yeah. So we just make up like Harry Potter.
No, honestly, I did the same thing when I first started watching the movies and reading the books in different orders because that's just how it ended up working out. So before I had the full context, my best friends and I also did basically the exact same thing, And at one point, one of them canonized that he and I were brothers because we used to we were brothers in almost every roleplay that we had, but we were also Harry's kids. So yeah, I've been there as well. And as far as Harry Potter OCs, don't worry because when it comes to the list of Harry Potter OCs, I have a spreadsheet full of different Harry Potter OCs. Now they all fit with each other.
Like, to be fair, I was just like my one main character, KW, Wolverine. She was a character for all fandoms. I didn't know I could create my own character for different fandoms when so I started spreading.
I didn't know it was allowed to have more than one OC. I thought it was a one-time deal.
I thought it was a one-time deal.
I didn't know any
I didn't know.
I guess it's kind of the same like mentality behind like how like Aphmau was the main character of like all of our shows until I think it was until Minor Demons actually, where she was still voiced the main character, but it was a different character essentially, and that was partly for branding, but also is because like I guess people I didn't know that until I started watching Aphmau, but like people having like themselves as like a self insert as a main character of everything rather than play multiple characters because even this like even since I was like 4 or 5 I was already pretending to be like either existing characters from franchises, and then later on with that particular group again we became different people. I think we still like were called ourselves, we had like different origins in that particular Harry Potter one, but we also had so many others. And essentially that was also around the same time that I started acting, so it was it was a feedback loop. And fast forward to today, where instead of voicing the main character in my own stuff, I tend to I tend to be multiple characters because that's just what I've like grown accustomed to. Also partly because that said best friend that I mentioned earlier, one of like always role plays my brother, he also had a bit of a protagonist complex, which he has admitted to in the in this day and age. But he had a thing about like being the most powerful character in everything. So most of the time I end up in the sidekick roles. But here's the thing: once you're in the sidekick role and you focus on your own story, that's when you discover that really helps you out with other characters. So it inadvertently that actually helped me out significantly. And I turned a lot of those characters into books. So there you go.
Oh, go to sleep, Andrea. Hey, you know what's funny?
Oh no! If Jacob and Bomb were in the world of Hogwarts, that's your next parody. I would absolutely be on board with that. I would 100% be behind that.
Actually, speaking of what's funny, Refresh person, I actually got good sleep for last night.
French person.
I literally went to bed so early. I thought I was an old lady for a moment. And then I woke up being like, oh, it's like, oh, okay, wait, already? But I thought I woke up, okay, I guess I'll just wake up for the day. I feel refreshed for some reason. Okay, I'll do some writing, and stuff like that. Like, it was so weird. So weird. I don't know.
I feel rested and productive.
Literally. If only I was allowed to write book 3 of Misfits.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, basically my own mother banned me from writing book 3 because she wants me to focus on book 1 and 2.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can that kind of track. I can understand that.
Yeah, no, I understand her. It's funny. It's just me joking around with her and being like, my own mother banned me from writing book 3. How dare she?
Yeah, I know. It's like, all right then. Yeah, exactly. That was definitely not me today because of the D&D stream from last night and the one before that. Yeah, like I mentioned before that I was tired as well. But hey, guests give me energy. I'm gonna crash again after this, but I'll be better tomorrow. So yeah, with that in mind, I think we should probably continue.
Yeah,
help me reach that point. Yeah,
we don't want to give Bo another bingo. We should not give Bo another bingo. We don't want to give Bo another bingo.
I don't know if it was counting, but yeah.
Fall in love with anything? Even a table?
Table Mao. Anyone remember Table Mao? OG Aphmau fans know what Table Mao is. The table is mine. So, for context, in Minecraft Diaries, there was like an expectation to some degree, both in and out of universe, that Aphmau was going to end up, falling for one of several different characters. You said, "Well, what if I fell in love with this table?" And then as a joke, I think it was Lawrence said, "No, the table is mine." It's like a whole thing. So Table Mao became like the most common joke ship in 2015. Yeah. All right, Ghost Kitty knows. Ghost Kitty knows. Yeah, there you go. What about me? Well, would you be the first thing? Yeah. That she sees? Potentially. Depends. We don't know the full effects of it, so we're not sure.
Yeah, we're not sure.
I mean, I would imagine that, if you can fall in love with an object and fall in love with a person, I would just buy a transit property, but yeah, okay, all right. So maybe you guys can have it. I'm a villain, but I have standards,
Yeah.
Professionals have standards.
Mm-hmm. You're probably going to protect. I just don't want Cancer to be hurt. Yeah, she would get lip splinters constantly if she fell up with the table.
It's okay,
Anyway.
Leo. We'll help you find another one for Cancer.
I mean, you are in a chocolate shop right now that has thousands of combinations, and you also talk to the salesperson who probably would have told you about the other options if you changed your mind. I mean, Mrs. Burns, stop talking it out. Fight. Yes. It's all this era of Eli was always like this. But I mean, it actually kind of makes sense about standards in this situation. If it hadn't been for the fact this has happened in multiple other episodes before this point, and it's become the most common method of conflict resolution in the series, this would not be as bad. It's only bad because it's in conjunction with everything else that we've seen already. Yeah. Was that it's the table in the guard tower and him were joking? Yes. Yeah. There we go. Absolutely. All the Bond jobs are coming out today. Yeah. Kind of. Aside from
you can pay for it.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's very nice.
Really?
Yay!
Is this his redemption arc? Is this Leo's redemption arc?
Well, I don't know. I think it's just more of a human moment for him. There's something I also really enjoy is when villain groups actually care about each other, because it's usually a case oh yeah, the good guys have the power of friendship and they understand the true meaning of it and yada yada, and meanwhile the villain group is always I'm going to one up this person because I want to prove to the boss that I am the best, and the boss meanwhile is condescending to everyone, and something it's you're all useless and whatever, get back out there and do my bidding. And or else I will punish you in some sort of way, blah, blah, blah. It's always that kind of thing. It's I mean, come on. That's why I love the Ginyu Force so much. They genuinely cared. They cared about each other. They were an actual squad, a team. Yeah.
There you guys are. I saw Leo go into the store.
Yeah, and then you didn't follow. Where were you this whole episode?
Oh, so go see. I found something about certain kinds of swans.
Okay.
Speaking of, no. Okay, so basically, there are gay swans out there that would seduce female swans to make them, create eggs, and then they basically steal those eggs and raise the babies with their gay partner, or if baby swans will have mothers to raise them or whatever, they will take them in, or if they see an empty nest with eggs or whatever, they also steal them and become parents to those babies. Isn't nature fun, kids?
It certainly is, yeah. That is quite the fact, in all fairness. We know. We got the item, though. Who's going to a single dad who works 2 jobs? That's like a blurb for my channel almost. A single dad who works 2 jobs, metaphorically. We got the item now. Oh, phew! I thought I was standing out here just waiting for him to return. I was going to ambush him, I suppose. But then again, he also did walk right past me, so let's go put it back now.
Why?
Why? You quite literally...
Because not back in the store. She means put it back in where this is supposed to be, because it's one of these big planetary items that are supposed to they're collecting because of reasons. So yeah, that was it was clumsy phrasing basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was That was lots of love, or as it probably should be called, a slight hint of love, but not actually really demonstrated, more just discussed and talked about. Because, yeah, I guess the chocolates never actually got used for their purpose. Maybe the items have to
Leo's
be
the
like
best.
complete in some way. But to be honest, if Leo actually had stolen it and he had to deal with cancer falling for him in some way, like what would that have actually done? Would he then have like sought out the pops and then tried to return it at some other point, or try to find, maybe that would have been like a reason for him to go to them as well, like out of desperation, being like, hey, can you help me with this, please? You warned me it was dangerous. I didn't listen. I'm sorry. What can we do now? Something along those lines. That would have been at least that would also been a reason why he could have why the conversation would have been. I mean, I don't mind that they resolved it by talking this time, because it sort of tracks with, his more altruistic goal in this episode, that he would be like, okay, fine, I'll do something else because I don't need to go. I don't need to, by default to you guys being my enemies because our plans do not align. That being said, now the Star Tribe should know that that suggests they're collecting something. Maybe now there'll be increased stakes in the future episodes. That's also.
Well, can we all agree I'm Jacob's father, right, chat?
You keep saying that.
I'm scared.
There's one thing we can't deny that you keep saying that.
Well, Jacob, are they your father?
I mean, by this weird, but like. Honestly, I don't know, because the whole family dynamic thing is, is one of those like things that's gone out of whack in terms of the Butter family.
Hold on. Wait a second. Didn't Ace claim to be your child at one point when he visited the streams or whatever?
Yes, he also keeps saying that, and both of you keep trying to will it into existence.
Okay. So let's say if that is true, does that mean Bond is the grandfather of that said child, if Bond is your father?
If both of these things were true, then it would mean that thing. If even just one of them were not, then, that's it. There's a 25% chance.
So basically we're calling Bond old. Got it.
Well, there's a 25% chance that Bond is old. So yeah, back to final thoughts on the episode. So, yeah,
Personally, my favorite quote was, "Wait a minute."
How does one know if books are second-hand? Well, if you get them from a second-hand store, then they're second-hand. That's usually the giveaway.
Or eBay.
Or if they say second-hand in their in their profile or something, that's also a possibility.
The best place to find like secondhand books or whatever, at least for me, like secondhand stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say eBay.
Yeah. Dare I say you are more likely to find a second-hand copy of a book than you are a first-hand, unless you go like directly to a bookstore or the website of a bookstore or Amazon. Those situations they'd probably find first-hand. They would probably print them out, specifically, because that's what they do, print on demand sometimes. If not, then yeah, they probably are second-hands, because that's just
we agree that we reciprocate a celestial creation. You at that couple didn't happen. Don't disown your own father, Jacob.
So yeah, good luck with finding those books.
Yes,
yeah.
anyways,
I forgot what I was. Yeah, I was kind of getting to now. This
pros and cons.
Yeah, this is where the tiredness starts to claim me now, because I'm trying to think of like everything that's wrapping this up. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the attempt at French from here, but again, if you want to use Google Translate, make sure you got the grammatical structure of the French sentences. Just like replace the words. I said this before. I actually use Google Translate for that purpose, but I just did like one word at a time, and my teacher said it was perfect, and she was like the #1 Google Translate hater that I was aware of at the time. So that's that's it. So
yeah, that's right, Bond. I'm Jacob's father now.
Good grief. Okay.
Okay, can we not talk about the family dynamics anymore? Like, oh my god.
This is the one drawback of guess, is that when I want to move on from a bit that's run its course in chat, the guests don't let me.
I'm leading you. I'm over here leading you. I was just reading what Bond said, and that is it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, pros and cons. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't know anymore because I've been interrupted like 3 times, and I'm trying to think of like everything else.
My
sorry.
guns. Oh no, you said something about French stuff.
Yes, I think I made my point about that with like the Google
Yeah.
Translate stuff. So that was the joint there. But I appreciate the attempt. I can also see the precursor to Eli's like current method of like custom backgrounds from multiple different angles. That was the attempt with the chocolate shop itself. It's just that they were all very clearly from different shops. So it didn't quite correlate in that way, but it was at least something was like moving in that direction. I am wondering as well. They didn't seem to why the jazz pop was like so like nonchalant about everything, because like okay, Earth Pop letting Leo through by accident is one thing. Sure, she's Earth Pop, whatever. A little bit of not much going on upstairs, but the entire squadron. Just letting him walk up Max Jaegerman style and just take the box, but then only say something when he's about to walk out with said box that was so important to them. That doesn't really track for me. That's the part I've really struggled with this particular episode. Like it feels like an attempt to like escalate the joke, but without understanding like the nuance of like how the joke worked in the first place.
Yeah. I don't really have pros and cons. Like I'm trying to think of ones, like, but I feel like a lot of people have like some similar thoughts as I have, especially when coming in like halfway through, kind of.
Yeah,
Personally,
it's very possible. Yeah, happens a lot.
So like, yeah, I don't really have anything to say.
They didn't fight. Yeah, well, again, that's not a con for me, but it's a con for Bon. All right, con for Bon. Rhymes. They just watched this tutorial. This was just overall pretty dull. Didn't keep any of our attention courses to derail. Well, okay, we were going to derail anyway because that's just what we do in general. But yes,
Yeah,
I suppose. Yeah, but for a 7-minute episode, wouldn't be like such an issue if we weren't pausing constantly. But yeah, I guess it's kind of like the danger zone for internet videos. At this point, if they don't grab your attention beforehand, the classic YouTube thing they keep saying, grab the attention like the first few seconds, which it did. In all fairness, it set the atmosphere of Paris quite well. I would say at the beginning. Yeah,
Oh.
it was definitely a coincidence. I would have also had them like check in like a couple of places first before they just happened to stumble on the first shop and it happened to be the correct place.
Wait, does that mean
Also, that salesman had an agenda with
does that
speaking
mean
French. He's compliant.
they have met Ladybug got nowhere? No, I know they probably didn't because
Their children. Well, you see, the thing is, their children were in the scene. There they are.
Wait. Ooh. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, they didn't meet them this time. They did reference them actually, which is one thing I was surprised at in this episode was that that they actually outright drew that connection, considering that Eli doesn't usually connect franchises together the way that other people do in the franchise. Aside from, I guess, like in terms of like referencing the different ballets that the ballet pops are from, but actually like adapting them so they're not like actually from the legitimate things. Their stories happen to mirror them in certain ways.
Actually it was funny. I'm so behind on like Miraculous. Like I kind of just like stopped watching because I was like watching like other animes and stuff like that.
Yeah, welcome to the club. I'm behind for all of season 6 except for one episode because I can't watch it.
I am behind on season 6 and like the specials. That like the last thing I ever watched was like season 5 finale.
I'm behind on everything.
Well, I think there's only one special that came out in between those two things, to my knowledge.
Yeah, but I think there's like one other special that I kind of missed like beforehand as well, if that makes sense.
Oh. Okay.
Like I didn't know there was like a different special as well that came out a while back, and I was just like, oh, okay, so I also need to watch that.
Yeah, that's fair. Fine, period. Never watched a single episode.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna lose your brain cells if you try to watch Miraculous. Just saying.
Miraculous, simply the best.
Up to the test when things go wrong.
See, here's the thing. I'd be curious to see what Bond thinks of Miraculous because obviously, like Bond would be able to get like the legitimate like experience of watching it in French without having to deal with subtitles like I would in this case. Like
Oh.
Because I mean, as much as I've been in control of the French for so far, that's about my limit. So, yeah.
I wonder if like the
the Johnny series. Okay, honestly, if you watch Johnny's series, you probably won't break your brain cells from the source material because your tolerance will be much higher. So you should be all right. And also, why not watch it in French? Why the heck not?
Maybe like the dialogue and stuff will be better in French, not gonna lie, because it's kind of like, in a sense, like, I'm not saying like, oh, they have cut stuff or whatever, oh my god, goes or whatever, and like dub or whatever, but I am curious if they have like different responses of different sayings and whatnot because it's in French, since it's a French show. Kind of like
that's why. Yeah, that's why I said that if I ever start doing video essays and I want to do like at some point if I ever have time episode breakdowns of different shows like Kodioka, Miraculous, Wakfu, but I know there's all French ones, but I want to do like Mermaid Melody as well, possibly Ben 10, depends if I can actually get the footage. Like basically like okay, like I'll break down like episode by episode different things and what are significant. With Miraculous, I want to do a thing where I want to like compare the English, the Spanish, and the French versions, particularly.
Yeah.
Which means I will have to watch it all in English at some point, which I have not done, but eventually. So that's ultimately because like there's some things are very different. But like, I mean, the line everyone like keeps making fun of, just a normal girl with a normal life, and like her life is anything but normal once you get down to what happens to her. So yeah, that line does not exist in the French version. Because the actual line is une fille comme les autres, which means a girl like any other, like in terms of original personality or something, or whatever. So it's a very different type of feels. Like everyone's like just like ha normal girl, normal life, and meanwhile there she is parting with Jagged Stone again. It's like, well you see. About
there
that.
she is, your parents.
It's like an anime fan complaining about the Japanese version being changed. It's kind of like I've got that instinct, but that's only one part of it. So I wonder if I watched like the whole thing in French, it'd be very different.
I mean, like if you think about when we originally had 4 kids, and then like Yu-Gi-Oh will be on 4 kids one. Now they changed a lot of stuff. Like for example,
which I know is the abridged version. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but like. Only the like
stop right there, we'll shoot you with our invisible guns.
Like that, or like, because I found out like 5Ds, which is a Yu-Gi-Oh series, it's actually a lot darker in Japanese because the English
there's no Shadow
like,
Realm.
Yeah, obviously, because like for example, like in the English, they said, "Oh no, they're using an insect deck. Yusei is afraid of bugs. That's why he can't do right now." But in the Japanese, it's just because he didn't get good cards.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
They're trying to hype him up. I mean, if anything, getting bad cards would be like a really good, like hindrance to him in that situation because that's how the game works. But anyway,
I dropped Yu-Gi-Oh after Pendulum got introduced.
Brains is better apparently. Brains is good at 5Ds.
I have watched I watched 3 episodes of actual Yu-Gi-Oh because I think my parents used to like find random like DVDs of like batch of 3 episodes of different shows and it happened to and Yu-Gi-Oh happened to be like ones like I think it was like episodes. I think it was like 4, 5, and 6 or something. It was like it was very towards the beginning. It was like Duelist Kingdom. So which is why specifically I remember that the Spanish dubs a lot of the time will follow the English one. So if there's like changes in the English version, then those changes will exist in the Spanish one as well. So there are exceptions. Like actually in Miraculous, there's like both. We get the normal girl, normal lifeline in Spanish, but we don't get like other adaptations that also happened. It's kind of a weird mix they do sometimes. But yeah, in the terms of the Yu-Gi-Oh one, the line I always remember is even in Spanish, Pegasus just goes like, "How dare you interrupt me while I'm having my favorite fruit juice?" Meanwhile, he is clearly holding a wine glass.
Yeah. No, like
how dare you interrupt me?
Like if you talk to anyone who grew up on like the original Two Monsters series, they would always hire to like skip Dual Kingdom or whatever and just go to Battle City because how bad it was because they apparently I don't know if it's because when like Yu-Gi-Oh first came out, like the cards or whatever, but I think they didn't have rules set back then. So they were just making stuff up until they actually finalize the rules. And
yes, there's one point where destroying the moon was the solution. So yes, and that was one of the episodes I did watch, by the way, destroying the moon.
Remember when Joey tried to summon, like, I'm pretty sure it was Flame Swordsman or like Red Eyes Black Dragon, but he couldn't because he didn't tribute.
Yeah,
like when did that happen in the Duelist Kingdoms? Like, or before that even? Kaiba could just summon 3 blue eyes. He just drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny. But anyways, we should probably end the stream.
3
now,
entire
right?
blue eyes, dice key.
Oh my! Okay, we're ending the stream right here, guys. I'm about to kill Jacob. I'm taking over his YouTube channel now, or probably Emily. You know, so she has his account. Leave it a like or a dislike because your opinion doesn't matter. Until next time, KW out.
I'll be back.
You said your opinion doesn't matter. It's your opinion matters. It very much does matter to me. Please leave a like or dislike. Anyway.
My brain. Okay, yeah, no, just edit.
I know, I just wanted to make that, yeah.
I'll be back.
Also, I'm aware they're going to make Raptor series in Gacha. I auditioned. Don't you worry, I'm clued in. All right. So yeah, on that note, until next time, farewell.
Your opinion